Good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Happy Labor Day and happy game week as week one of the NFL regular season gets going later this week. Titans head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media earlier this afternoon and was asked if Titans quarterback Will Levis was ready for the moment in his season opener versus the Bears on Sunday.
And there's no question in my mind he's going to have to play well for us, obviously, but his demeanor, his confidence, his comfort with the offense, all of those things have shown that he's ready to go play football. And I can't wait to see it. And I'm excited for him, too, to be able to show people how far he's come as well. So it's exciting for both of us in that regard.
In other Titans news today, Titans signed safety Kendall Brooks to the practice squad. Brooks, who stands at 6 feet tall, 206 pounds, entered the NFL as an undrafted college free agent with the Arizona Cardinals following the 2023 NFL Draft. And also former Titans outside linebacker Rashad Weaver has signed with the Houston Texans practice squad. Titans were in communication with Weaver about potentially coming back to the Titans practice squad. Week one of the college football season, or the college football week, wraps up tonight as number 10 Florida State hosts Boston College later this evening. That game kicks off at 6:30 on ESPN. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans of Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome in 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful Labor Day in the Music City. Hopefully you have the day off and you're hanging out at the pool with multiple drinks. The show's always better with multiple drinks. Just drink responsibly. If you are having to work today,
we're with you.
What we do is I don't know. Like, we wake up and read stuff and take notes and talk to people, but
it takes time.
And then come in, and I always tell people that ask me what I do for a living, I say, tell jokes on the radio.
You always say that. Yeah. You minimize your job so much. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I mean,
trust me.
That's a lot of work.
He makes it look easy. It ain't that easy.
Right, but we're not.
The way he does this job is not easy.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, but we're not digging ditches, right? Like, we're not roofing Slay's roof.
I mean,
that is correct.
We're not laying pipe on Broadway.
I mean, sometimes you do. When Kai ain't got no roof, you got to work to take the roof off. Part of it.
We're not working the alley behind the...
I will say, the temperature outside is very nice today.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I mean,
especially
it's warm,
coming from freaking Austin.
But not humid. Yeah, I mean, it's been hot. Just wait for this weekend. Did y'all see? 49 for a low?
Okay.
And 78 for a high?
That's just hurting my soul.
There she is. She's on Davenport, back from Austin, Texas.
What up,
Let's go. Hey, happy Monday, people.
Happy Monday.
Game week.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Randy says, good afternoon, 3HL. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, man, what's happening?
Candy B says, praising Yorl.
Oh, I didn't even notice it. What'd you do?
Laying pipe on Broadway. Remember when we had the sewer problem downtown, and they literally did. They dug up Broadway and laid pipe on Broadway. I mean, that's a real thing. It's not, me trying to be funny. Although I did just say I tell jokes on the radio. So there's that. Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
Did you work Cracker Barrel this weekend?
I did.
What were your responsibilities at Cracker Barrel in Murfreesboro this weekend?
I had to open the store both Saturday and Sunday.
Like, you have the key? You let everyone in?
No. I just opened the
You're
grill.
not the key master?
No.
You're just the cut master?
Yeah. I just opened the grill line, so I had to turn everything on and...
Oh, okay.
Did the crew from the night before leave it in satisfactory shape for you?
Yeah, both nights or both mornings.
Would you rather?
Pretty good.
Would you rather? Because I worked at Mr. Gaddy.
I know what that world is from my restaurant days.
Me too, and I worked at Mr. Gaddy's in Green Hills. That's now Nashville. But so would you rather close or open?
Neither.
Well, I know that.
Probably open because I get off way earlier in the day. Then I have the rest of the day to chill. Saturday, watch college football. I got home, watched as much college football as one person can watch.
I know. I had 2 TVs going. It wasn't enough. I was really contemplating getting a third involved.
You should have got your laptop out and just added that to
I could have done that, yes. Mm-hmm. I was kind of on my phone. I did watch a whole lot of Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia SEC Player of the Week. Woo! You said when he's good, but he's not always good.
Yes.
But he was good.
And I also said he's tiny, and it did not matter.
No, he has a chip on his shoulder. Ron Slay is here.
I'm in the building.
Woo! There's your intro for today.
We'll get more into Vanderbilt a little bit later. Also, it is NFL game week, opening game week. Titans play, and this time next week we'll be talking about what happened in the Bears-Titans game. How were things in Knoxville?
Things in Knoxville were hot.
Are people in Knoxville ready for Heisman trophies and national championships? And
absolutely, but I think this time though it's more of the media, the national media, talking about it more so than Vols fans. It's still a little bit of BVS that's kind of creeping up, battered Vols syndrome. And
you think after that,
as far as okay, y'all, everybody be quiet so nothing goes wrong. I think the Hendon Hooker thing is in the back of people's mind. Man, we've seen it go good and it could go bad at any minute. So just enjoy it. I do
live in the moment.
I think they are living in the moment though. Yeah, just high five and having a great time. The heat index was stupid.
Were you sweating beer?
What? My legs were sweating. It was I've never why do your legs sweat? I ain't got no reason to sweat.
Well, you do have sweat glands everywhere.
Yeah, but come on, man, legs don't sweat. So to be sitting there and your legs start sweating, I was like, yeah, dude, this is a little steamy. So after the third touchdown, I quietly exited. Well, I couldn't quietly exit. Shout out to all of the 3XL.
I don't think you quietly do
zone fans.
Anything.
That ain't never happened.
Because of the show.
Quietly.
That's all they kept on saying. Hey, where's the roof? Hey, lock the door. Hey, the zone. I'm like, hey, man, I love y'all, man.
Even Will Levis tells us to lock the door.
Yeah, I'm out of here, though. But it was, hey, man, great time, great experience. You can feel it building up. Mm-hmm. You can feel it building up. The buzz is in the air.
Listen, opponent aside, that dude can play.
Now, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You can't just hide it anymore. My question, and I was telling Dawn this in the parking lot, the only thing left with Nico, question-wise, is how does he handle adversity? Because he hasn't had any yet.
Guess what?
At least in games.
Didn't have it in the bowl game.
Yeah. Nope. You know what, though?
Certainly didn't have it this week.
You know what I think?
What?
I think he creates his own adversity in his head and handles it that way through practice. I think, man, he got a high barometer that he's trying to meet each week, and he puts the pressure on himself.
He's also a dog, man.
This dude,
Did you hear what he said after the game?
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Here's Nico.
To keep our foot on their throat. When we go up big, I think still coming to the sideline with the same mindset that is 0-0. And, just carrying that out the full game, full 4 quarters like Coach Hop says.
That's serious.
Keep our foot on their throat.
This is what you get from him all the time, though.
But
do you hear his tone?
So
that's what I'm saying. But that's in the game and everything.
What do you want me to say?
When they cut
keep my foot on their throat.
Man, dude, I saw him celebrate one time, and that was when Dylan Sampson broke for the long run and then ran in for 3 yards. That was his biggest celebration. Not his long pass to Dante Thornton, not the one to Brew McCoy, not none of these. It was to Dylan Sampson. So, man, the man got an even kill, dog, and it's different to see out of a guy with all that hype coming in. And what I think what was even better than this was him being able to watch what happened the year before him sitting on the bench, watching Joe Milton go through all that. To watch what he was at every game with Hendon Hooker. You know what I mean? He was flying in for those games. Joe Milton, he saw you feel what I'm saying? And everybody knows. But you see that, you got to watch Hendon Hooker. You got to see, and Hendon wasn't the guy with a lot of celebration. Then you got to see Joe Milton, a lot of personality. You got to hear all of the pressure that was on him, how he handled it, and then he gets to walk in there. So he really got 2 years of experience being up close and personal and watching. To now be sitting in the seat and doing it, I think he's handling it terrifically. He's grown for it, honestly.
Coming up on today's show, we will talk some college football with Chris Lowe at 3:20, so we'll keep it going there. Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, begins his weekly visits on 3HL as the Titans prepare for their opener in Chicago. Mike Keith will join us every Monday at 4:20, so we'll do that. We have tons to get with you with regard to the Titans. Brian Callahan met with the media today. Tony Pollard, Harold Landry also did. Tons of college football to get to. It is a busy, busy Labor Day show. Real quick, SEC failed over the weekend.
What you mean?
Because they lost games?
1-3 in the marquee games. Now, Georgia's Georgia. And so how much of that is Georgia? How much of that is Clemson is maybe what we thought they were kind of going into that? Yeah. Clemson couldn't do anything.
Even if Clemson is what we thought they are, even if that dynasty is, or that mini dynasty is over and done, it doesn't matter. That was an absolute butt whooping.
Yeah. Clemson had 189 yards of total offense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they couldn't score.
At all.
They couldn't move the ball.
Nope.
By the way, local kid, Georgia, wide receiver London Humphreys from here, played at CPA, 2 receptions, 63 yards, had a 40-yard touchdown where he broke a tackle inside the 5-yard line. They went nuts in the press box. The coaching staff did, and it put them up 27-0, or 27-3, which is funny about coaching staffs. But, yeah, Florida pounded by Miami in the swamp. Yo. We talked about leaning Florida. I ended up betting Miami money line, but
I wish I would have.
But what did we say though? The difference could be Cam Ward. Cam Ward is serious, y'all.
Yeah. National stage. He's right there on it right now.
I mean, he's like backpedaling, throwing sidearm touchdown passes.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
His composure was different. It had to be a veteran quarterback to be able to walk in there. And Florida could not fluster him at all. Like, that was
nothing.
That was crazy to me. I thought the fans were going to get on them, and, man, Miami went in there and owned.
It's
over.
Florida's dead.
It's over. They won't win a game in November. They won't win a game in November.
26-35, 385.
They look bad.
Unless
3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Also ran for 33.
That can fuel them.
And it got to spark it. It got to be a big spark.
Here's what they need to do. They need to beat Tennessee. That's what they need to do.
Shoot, that's a long way away. What about the games they got coming up before then?
Well, I mean, they
lose them games, Joel. Getting to Tennessee ain't going to do nothing for you. That ain't going to turn around.
I forget the front end of their schedule.
Not on the road.
Don't they have a directional game coming up?
Man, I don't care if it's an indirectional game. They got to win against anybody.
Graham Mertz is hurt, so 11 of
20.
And
was talking so highly of Graham Mertz too, and
everybody was. Their team was.
Montreal Johnson was. He sold us.
He played well.
Unfortunately, he had the one run.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right.
Right,
absolutely right.
11 of 20, 91 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. What is the front end of? Because the back 9 games is well documented. What they got now?
No, they can get. They got Samford.
They have Samford this weekend. So if they can maybe get back on track there, I don't know.
What if Florida wins
gain
one
some
game?
Confidence.
They
might.
Yeah.
Mayor, that schedule is first
brutal.
of all, it's the toughest in the country.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, Miami just did that to you?
Yeah.
Don't think that Elko and A&M is going to keep showing up the way they did. They going to adjust. I got faith in them adjusting.
Notre Dame defensively did well. Certainly have questions with Connor Wegman though, if you watched that.
And guess what? Riley Leonard showed that athleticism. I don't see the tightrope surgery. I don't see no effects of it. That may look good.
SEC 1-3 in marquee matchups. You mentioned A&M lost at home to Notre Dame as a favorite, and then LSU favored by 4.5 loss to USC. So yeah, we've got tons to get to. Chris Lowe next.
How many points did Auburn score?
110.
4 more than Tennessee did.
73. Just want to point it out.
I'm just
pointing it out.
They almost put up the speed limit. Ole Miss too. Back-to-back years.
Speed limit.
All right, Chris Lowe next. Talking college football. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? It's everywhere. You should be everywhere. The mortgage business is all over the place. Where are you going to be? You need to go to WhyWesley.com. Wesley Mortgage, they got the doors open for you. They got an opportunity for you to be involved with a team, because it's team sports season. When you start talking about football, you got to get everybody involved. You can get involved with a team. You be that piece that's going to add to them a support system that's already in place, helping you succeed in the mortgage business, insuring your loans, close on time, making sure you get paid. Who doesn't love to get paid? Giving you back the time to build your business and bring back the fun in the mortgage profession. Now, who is it? It's Wesley Mortgage. Who's leading it? Chuck McDowell. Nashville native, holding it down, giving back to the community and reinvesting in the people. So why wouldn't he reinvest back into his own company, his own team? You have unique opportunities like networking with the Titans, Grand Prix, Music City Grand Prix, Nashville Predators, and more. You just got to go to ywesley.com.
Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. Today's the day. Go ahead and drive on out there. See my friend Daniel Gupton and his crew. They are ready to help you out. Just let them know what you're looking for. More space in your vehicle. Maybe you need something cheaper monthly payment-wise. Maybe you need something better gas mileage-wise. Whatever your needs are, they will be able to point you in the right direction. You take your test drive. You go inside. You will be so ecstatic with the process. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, ready to help you out. Whether you have already begun the process, make sure you include them in the process. And if you haven't started yet, start there and you'll end there. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. All of the dealership information is there. Address, phone number, inventory, and deals they have going on. GuptonMotors.com. Again, the website. 24 West, exit 35 is about 9 miles outside the city, then a straight shot into the best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. GuptonMotors.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Fred Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you.
Yes.
Texas beat Colorado State 52-0. Babs was there. Babsy, what'd you learn about the Longhorns?
They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Speed made up for
They go to Michigan this weekend. Game day will be there.
I think that team, and Sark even said it too, I think that team is way faster than they've ever been. They're certainly the deepest they've ever been.
They're deep at wide receiver.
They are so deep.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, we talked about the concern about, what are you laughing at?
We're just going to let the music just play.
Okay.
Lenny Kravitz, man.
I think two of the big concerns obviously coming in were the running back position. Mm-hmm. When you have an offensive line like that, guess what? It doesn't matter. And then also defensive line on the other side with losing Sweat, who's here, and Byron Murphy. And I think they have some dudes that can really step in. But all that to say, and we can ask Chris Lowe about it too. It is really hard to tell when you're against that kind of competition. It's hard to tell because they just dominated the trenches.
All the gambling guys say just need more data points than week one. But there are games where you can find things where, like Georgia, you know what they are now. You know what I mean?
But Georgia was playing Clemson. It's not like Georgia was playing Colorado State or UT Chattanooga, you know?
But in games like that, it's tough. Quinn Ewers, 20 of 27, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. Arch Manning, 5 of 6, 95 yards and a touchdown, ran for another. We'll get your take a little bit later on the crowd reaction when he came in. They will play Michigan. Michigan struggled with Fresno State. They were up 16-10 in the fourth against Fresno State, ended up winning 30-10. Chris Lowe joins us from ESPN. Chris, fun weekend, man.
Well, I'm just glad to see, a whole plethora of football games. And, Dawn's right, though, what you were saying. It's so hard. You see what Tennessee did. You see what Arkansas did, what Ole Miss did. I think Ole Miss is scoring another touchdown, in fact. Texas.
Auburn.
Auburn. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, all these teams have a lot of hope, and I think most of these teams have added depth and speed. But, gosh, it'd be like Slay. We're having a one-on-one tournament. Slay starting the season and playing me.
Without a three-point line, because that's where you would kill me from, CeeLo. But you take the three-point line out.
But it's just hard to say. So I've never won. Well, as I've gotten older and been in the profession, I've never been one to overreact after week one, yay or nay.
Right. Some of those games you can't
tell talent though. You can still tell raw talent. And again, staying with Tennessee, Nico, his arm strength, and I'd always do this and talk to people and talk to Heupel. He has elite arm talent.
Yeah.
I think that's why people like Philip Fulmer are not afraid to say that this kid is legit. And Philip Fulmer doesn't say that about people who haven't performed yet. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of, reading between the lines about Nico from people like that. But, I think what you're saying is true about don't overreact, especially in situations like Michigan up less than a touchdown in the fourth quarter, Oregon dealing with the same thing. And then it would be a mistake to write those teams off, obviously. But
absolutely.
Double-digit favorites, Chris. And I wonder, are we seeing more of a gap between like FCS and FBS? Double-digit favorites were 60-1 this weekend. You know what the one outlier was? Virginia Tech favored by 14.5 at kickoff. Vanderbilt got them. What about that performance?
Yeah, the Fighting Clark League. I wrote something. I think it's going to run tomorrow. Just with sort of takeaways, our takeaways in ESPN in week one, and I focused in on Vandy. I mean, that to me easily was the most important win that Clark has had since he's been. I know he won a couple of SEC games 2 years ago, but as far as importance and give people hope, hey, that we have turned this thing around a little bit. He changed, Brent, and you guys know this, he changed everything about that program this offseason. Yep. Everything. Strength and condition, new OC. He started calling the defensive plays himself. And he brought in guys like Jerry Kill. I think they're more committed to using the transfer portal, not be, back in prehistoric times with NIL. And to have some success and to sort of see them in game one against a team that some people in the ACC thought might contend for the ACC title, a team that brought back, 20 starters or something like that?
Yeah, and Drones, the quarterback, is legit.
Yeah, in game one, you show results. you build momentum from all those changes you made. You reassure not only your fans but your team that everything you've done, all those changes you made, were the right ones. And now they really should be 3-0. I mean, again, I don't want to get out over my skis, but they really should be 3-0 going into that Missouri game in September 21st. So good for Clark, good for those kids, good for that program. Because I know it was tough. You lose 10 straight games last year to end the season, but they were fun to watch. I mean, listen, Diego Pavia, that kid is a baller. He is a tough kid, and I would not want to fight or wrestle him.
Nope. What did I say going into this game, too? If I'm in a street fight, I'll take him.
I mean,
he'll be right there next to me.
He said that they were talking trash to him, and he said, "Don't talk to me unless you beat me." And I was like, wow, this dude. So, they host Alcorn State 6:30. Go check out the Commodores. Tennessee obviously flies by Chattanooga 69-3. What was your takeaway there?
Just that this, what Josh told me, that I think this will be the deepest and maybe the deepest and most athletic team across the board, certainly the defensive line. I think they will be elite up front. And I've said this, I continue to believe this. This should be their best defensive line since the Henderson-Ainsworth years, which was the early 2000s. I think Nico's got elite arm talent. I want to see him do it. Not that he won't, but I want to see him do it against the best defenses, against guys that are in his face. I think he certainly has that capability. And if you're a Tennessee fan, I don't see anything, and this is not based on this first game, but just having been around the team and talked to people in the program, knowing what others. I talked to 2 NFL scouts. I was in Bama all week. Talked to 2 NFL scouts who had been to Tennessee, and they'd been to Ohio State, they've been to Florida, they've been several places. I don't see or talk to anybody now that gives me pause in thinking that Tennessee's a playoff team. Now, they got to go do it. We'll find out a little bit more this week in Charlotte against NC State, which I think Tennessee wins that game by 2 touchdowns or more. But I think this is the playoff team if they keep everybody healthy. And I do think that this will be Josh's best football team.
What about an SEC championship team?
Well, hey, listen, if you're in the playoffs, Dawn, and then you should be in that conversation. If you're a top 3 or 4 team in the SEC, then I think you go into November with a chance to be one of those top 2 teams. The funny thing is, though, that the way the playoff is set up now, if you get into the championship game, and let's say you lose it, and obviously you're not going to be one of those teams in the bye, then you're probably better off if you're going to get in the playoff by not being in the SEC championship game because you get extra rest.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris Lowe with us from ESPN.com every Monday during the college football season.
Yeah, I'm quite fine with, if you go through it and you if you're not the number 1 seed going into the SEC championship, I'm cool with being 3-4, go and get that playoff seed. Because can you imagine going up on Rocky Top with a playoff game, a home playoff game? That place
would be lit.
Like Tennessee and hosting Notre Dame or something?
Yeah. It would be
I can do you one better. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Tennessee, 8 seed versus 9 seed Ole Miss at night in Neyland Stadium.
Lord have mercy.
Injected in my veins.
Lord have mercy.
Things being thrown all over
all
the
the golf balls, all the mustard bottles, man.
Lane
Hold it up.
Kiffin would be on point.
Yeah, leave the golf balls, the bottles at home. We don't want another repeat of that.
Right.
You talk about bedlam.
Oh, my gosh. Ooh.
So,
highly touted.
Just overall, CeeLo, was there something that happened this weekend? I know we had a lot of blowouts, but was there anything that happened this weekend that surprised you in college football?
Well, other than I thought Vandy would play well. I didn't think they would win.
Yeah.
I would say probably Georgia Clemson. And I watched most of that game. Clemson, they stood in there okay in the first half, physically. They really did. Second half, you just saw Georgia's depth and having a quarterback, the caliber of Beck, their offensive line, just absolutely steamroll them. And I thought Georgia would be good this year. Again, talking to NFL people who know a whole lot more about it than me. But they've got 3 or 4 guys in their offensive line that don't play it would start for just about any other SEC team. And I think that's the thing of watching that game and seeing how physical and just how dominant and how dialed in Georgia was in that second half. It's just completely outclassing a Clemson team that I still think will be heard from in the ACC race. I would not completely give up on Clemson in that ACC race, but just to see them be that polished, and listen, I know Kirby well enough to know he's probably found about 35 things he's mad about in that first game. He can get a lot better. But Georgia looks to me right now like they're the class of college football. I'll give you this little tidbit. I was talking to a different scout who has seen Ohio State and Georgia both practice this preseason. He said he hadn't seen anybody as good as Georgia in the fronts on both sides. He thinks Beck's the top quarterback out there. He said, although Ohio State, he thinks that's better skill people, receiver, running back, and in the back end, they've got Denzel Burt, who's a first-round corner, and they've got Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs is awesome.
Maybe is the best safety in America.
Outside of Malachi Starks, who made an unbelievable catch.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. If anybody's not, it's Starks. Starks has played, about 6-7 seasons now, Georgia?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Part of the rebuild, the reboot, and everything else.
I just don't know about Will Howard. I know he's good and all those things, but is he a national championship winning quarterback? He might be with all the weapons you just mentioned, but I don't know. He was kind of sketchy in that opener, and I know not to read too much into that, but
no. But I think you're right though. That's where, to me, it's always two things. Okay, it's quarterback play, and depth and physicality and strength up front in the defensive line. Those will always be the two things that separate the great championship teams from everybody else. And Georgia has both of them.
CeeLo, if we go down to the state of Mississippi, man, I think what jumps out immediately is Jackson Dart putting up the numbers he did early on with Ole Miss. And we kind of expect Lane to do that because of what he did in the portal, going to load up, especially defensively. But going across on the other side of the egg, Mississippi State, Jeff Levy, and what he did, man. What do I take from that, and what does that lead into this matchup against Arizona State?
And I think, to me, that's one of the more underrated games this week, Slade. When you look across the board, I think that one in Arkansas and Oklahoma State are the two that maybe are probably not getting the love that I think both have a chance to be good football games. When I talked to Jeff this summer, he told me his quarterback, Chapin, was exactly what he looks for in quarterback. In his ability to read things, to make quick decisions, to get the ball out quickly. He's got a strong arm, can move around. He was really excited about what he had seen and what Chapin could do for them. And which you saw in that first game, again, not against the strongest competition, but you saw in that first game, he did a lot of those things. They're completely different. And sometimes, when you have a transition from what they were under Arnett to Levy, because Levy's going to play fast, they're going to score a lot of points. Really from the Josh Heupel book of playing offense. It's so different than what they're used to there at Mississippi, closer to what they're used to when Mike Leach was there.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a while, to let everything settle. But I do think they're a team that has the ability, and certainly with Levy's ability to get the most out of his offense, to score a lot of points, and be a problem for people. I just, with Vanderbilt's start, I don't know, I just don't see a lot of easy outs this year.
Right.
In the SEC. We're only one weekend. South Carolina looked very pedestrian.
Sure.
But teams like Arkansas and Vandy, Auburn, I think Auburn's going to be a lot better. In fact, I know for a fact that Dawn got the entire scoop on Auburn when we were in Dallas. She can go down the depth charts and tell you the strength and weakness. She has all the inside info.
They're going to be a lot better, CeeLo.
but they will be better. I think they will be better, and certainly they're better at receiver. I think Peyton Thorne will be a lot more confident and won't be as hesitant, which is part of that inside info that Dawn got when we were in Dallas throwing the football. And I think that part of it, honestly, will make – because even last year they ran the football pretty well at times without any passing game. So I think Auburn's another team that probably we're all sleeping on a little bit too much.
Look, I get losing to Miami. They're a good team, and Cam Ward is certainly a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. Him and Jackson Dart are now tied with Dylan Gabriel for Heisman odds. Man, what do you do with that? And then my man Billy Napier goes to the post-game press conference and can't even open a water bottle in like 45 seconds. I mean, that was a tough day for him.
Yeah, I've seen this movie, guys, a lot. When a coach gets frustrated enough, and I get it, that he starts to take aim at the fans.
Yeah,
it usually doesn't end well.
I was involved in it.
You were. I saw Lowe and Andy Staples talking about Jerry Green telling everybody to go to
one of those.
Go to the Kmart if you don't like
it. Slay.
Yeah,
I thought about your boy talking about the Kmart. You know that.
He was for those that don't know, Jerry Green was on Vol Calls and told the fans to go to the Kmart if they didn't like what was going on.
Hell of a 4-year run,
and then he got fired like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and so that's
the Kmart.
Their schedule. That to me, as I looked at Florida's schedule this year and what they had coming back, they had 2 games at home, 2 tough games, Miami and Texas A&M in 2 weeks. I felt like for them to have a winning season, they needed to win both of those games. Now, they've already lost, and they didn't just lose. They got dominated by one of their in-state rivals. And coming out of that, you're starting to hear already rumblings. I saw where Pat Dooley said, the longtime columnist in Gainesville, who's now does his own podcast, he was supposed to have A.D. Scott Strickland on. Doesn't look like that's going to happen this week. So, it just all is not well in Gainesville, and I just don't see – and I've never been a media guy to jump on coaches' grades. I have a hard time seeing this one end well for Billy Napier this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Samford, then Texas A&M at Mississippi State, then UCF with KJ Jefferson, Tennessee at Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State.
Does he make it this season?
No.
I mean, if they don't show improvement, Dawn. I mean, if you're going to fire a coach in the middle of the season, I think there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a rhyme or reason to it to give you a chance to sort of get settled and figure out who you're going to go after. But here's the tricky part at Florida. His AD, Scott Strickland, who I've known for a long time, I think Scott's a great guy. He's been a really successful administrator, did a terrific job at Mississippi State. He might be in more trouble than Billy.
Yeah.
And if Billy's not going to make it as head coach, do you think the powers that be at Florida are going to want Scott Strickland to hire the next coach?
That's a great point.
Yes. Right.
So I don't know how all that would shake out, but they had you had all off season, and you brought in some transfers. You talked about how this was your best football team, and then that's the product on the field Saturday at home. That's I don't think it could have gone worse.
Chris Lowe with us on from ESPN.
Let me ask you this before you get out of here, CeeLo. You watch Arkansas and you watch the talent. You see how Pittman is moving. With Petrino being on those sidelines, is Arkansas high-powered offense scoring with that running back and that long-legged quarterback? Are they back?
I don't know if they're back, but I'll make a prediction. The name Taylor Green.
Yes.
Taylor Green. From the middle of the season, there are going to be a lot of people talking about Taylor Green. Comes to Arkansas from Boise State. Bobby and I were talking before the season about this kid. He liked him then, liked his athletic ability. As you mentioned, that long stride, big kid who could throw the football. Bobby's had success with different styles of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You go back and look at him. He's had guys that were pocket guys. He's had, mobile guys. He's had guys that were sort of somewhere in between. This kid, he told me, checks a lot of the boxes that he likes. Yeah. And I think he's pretty fearless back there. So, yes, I think Arkansas has got a chance to be another team, much like Auburn, that's better than maybe we thought they were going to be.
Boy, he can make crazy throws. And, man, when the ball in his hands, I mean.
Make a move, too.
We loved him.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, we met with him. He was really smart, personable, all those things. But, I mean, with the ball in his hands, like people kept putting highlights out on the internet and calling him cheat code. The one thing about him, though, there are easy throws that he misses badly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that completion percentage last year was 57%. That's the one thing that I wonder about with him.
Yeah, and I know that's the one thing that they worked on hard.
Yeah.
To make those layup throws. You know, you got to make the layups. We know he can throw the ball from hash to hash. We know he can throw it down the field. But the precision routes, the layup routes, those are the ones you got to be, 98% on. And that's where he's got to get better. I know that was a big top of the conversation and focus for he and Bobby this offseason. But no, I think he's a guy that's he's going to be a load. They're going to be a load for people trying to defend him, especially when you pair Bobby's ability to call plays, develop quarterbacks. Throughout Bobby's career, it's hard to find a quarterback under him, really with the exception of last year when he was aiding him, and they weren't running his offense. It was still more Jimbo's offense. Yep. But when he was truly calling plays, back when he was at Arkansas, when he was at Louisville, it's hard to find a quarterback that didn't play at a high level under him.
There he is. It's Chris Lowe. Every Monday we'll recap the college football weekend. Thank you, C-Lowe. Good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
All right, head to Kmart, guys. Talk to you soon.
Can't imagine what that was like going through that.
Dude. As soon as
I don't mean to even laugh about it, but gosh.
As soon as he got to the podium, dog, when that was the first thing when Napier said that, I was like, wow, that's it. That's the first step to starting to walk down the hill.
We'll play that audio from Billy Napier's press conference that went everywhere. Also, when we come back, chances to make the college football playoff after week 1 thanks to ESPN FPI. Where's your favorite team? If they're in there, where's Tennessee? They are in there. We'll do that next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Scratching your head, wondering what's going on with your power at your tailgate. You can't get the TV to fire up. Your grill's not working. Things are not going as they seem to be going for you in your head, but you can fix all of that. All you got to do is control your power. How can you do that? All you got to hit up is Cove Generators. Get with them. Get your Generac automatic standby generator and get your power back. Put the power in the palm of your hand with Cove Generators, Babsy.
Yeah, they also have temporary or
yeah, portable generators as well. That's
Cove Generators, COVE. So here's the deal. They are bringing back their new 7-year warranty upgrade.
Back by popular demand.
Oh, yes. Get yourself a Generac automatic standby generator and then, boom, add on this new 7-year warranty upgrade, over $1,000 value for free. Cove Generators, they have financing available, by the way. Many options, some as low as 0% financing, too. Certain terms and conditions apply, but all you have to do is reach out and protect your family. Never lose power again. Give Cove Generators a call at 931-559-3311 or online, easy to do, covegenerators.com.
Stay connected through it all.
Dickens Surface Landscape Supply, as the season begins to change, it's about to get cooler. It's not going to be 100 degrees forever. You need to know how to manipulate that lawn. Trey Hartsook is here from Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. DickensSupply.com, the website. Trey's got more. Trey, what's up?
Hey, Brett, I'll tell you what, man. It's proven turf grass technology is only available at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Everybody asks, hey, what's the difference between the grass seed you sell and then the grass seed I can go get at a box store or something like that? Well, everything that we sell here at Dickens Supply, it's been tested, right? It's drought resistant, fungus resistant, the grass seed that you really need for this area. So if you haven't thought about where you're going to get your seed from this year, give Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply a shot. That time is right around the corner. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it'll be here before you know it. Also, Brent, now is a great time to take advantage of some special sales that we're doing across the board at every single one of our stores, getting rid of some equipment, cutting some cash deals on some stuff. So, hey, maybe you need a new mower, blower. Doesn't matter. We can get you taken care of. Stop in to see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Convenient located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Longmore, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. I mean, Florida got murdered by Miami.
Yeah.
I changed my mind last second and went Hurricanes.
I wish I would have. See, I was with Miami at first, believing that. I mean, the Graham Mertz and all being at SEC
Montreal
football
Johnson,
media, all that. They talked me out of it. I'll never listen to that again.
Mm-hmm.
You got talked out of something by Florida people.
Yeah. No, Florida players.
Can I just say this? Florida fans are unhinged right
Wouldn't
now.
you be?
Yes.
I mean, they have every right to be.
Yes.
Yo, the
That was
talent in that
embarrassing.
state.
I mean, just unhinged.
And then the other
41
part
to
of it,
17. It could have been worse.
when Miami's walking out and they telling the recruits, man, you don't want to come here. Like that's the optics of that dog. That's never
That's
going
to
to
set
end
your
well.
program back.
Yeah, that's never.
Did you see the video of that?
Yeah.
Where the Florida PR people were trying to get the Miami players away from
Man, what you gonna do?
I mean, there was a video of like the Florida recruits that were in the stands, like cheering for Miami during the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were exciting. You know?
Cam Ward is something to watch.
Legit. All right.
And I didn't watch. I just watched the highlights, but good
He
Lord.
look good.
We were talking about Billy Napier kind of going at the fans, and Slay, you were like, man, I knew when he stepped to the podium and he started talking about fans, it's over.
Yeah.
Because you lived it.
First step downhill.
With Jerry Green. This is what Billy Napier said at the podium.
We got to go to work on the football part, and I think we got to become a more consistent team, and we have to execute better. And if we can focus on those things and not necessarily what some guy in his basement saying in rural Central Florida on social media, then we got a chance to get better.
You just said that guy doesn't matter. You know what I mean? How much rural area is there in Florida? Tons.
Yeah,
now, he did circle back because I think he realized what he had just said, and that part of it's not going around the internet, only what we just played. But he did circle back and say, look, we deserve the criticism.
Yeah. But that's too late.
That is not the way to get people on your side.
That's too late.
Oof.
Rural guy in Central
You should have went up there with the Brian Kelly tirade.
Just pound the podium.
Yeah, I got to coach better. We got to get better in these situations. Like, There's more pride it's supposed to be taken coming into the swamp.
Here it is. LSU lost late to USC, and Brian Kelly now winless in season openers at LSU. This is what he said.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over. And I'm so angry about it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach. And I got to coach him better because it's unacceptable for us not to have found a way to win this football game. It's ridiculous.
That's the way to handle that. Mm-hmm. That's the way.
And I guess in his case, though, he
was pissed.
Yeah, because they were up. Like, they made so many mental mistakes, man.
Yep.
Oh, so many.
That extended drives or eliminated turnovers.
And I will say,
penalties for that celebration that gave them phenomenal field position.
Getting a delay of game coming out of kickoff.
Yep. Like, how do you do that? How does that happen?
It happens.
There should be no excuse.
There's no excuse for that. But
he was lighting into his OC and his DC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, lighting into them. So he said, I got to make an adjustment. He gonna make an adjustment.
How about my man? You're talking about the penalty in the end zone after the touchdown, which gave USC great field position. They ended up scoring.
Yeah.
But what about my man on the sideline where his teammates are like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he demonstrates again what he was trying to do.
And you know what?
Knowing that you're on camera at that point.
That was stupid. And I thought they gave him I thought they gave him a penalty for running up through the tunnel.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what was he supposed to land? What did y'all want him to do? I didn't see it. When they came back and showed the replay, I was like, come on, dog.
Listen.
And everybody's done it.
You can't do the throat slash. You can't do the anything gun, weapon related. You can't
Not to the players. You can do it with your teammates.
No, you really can't even.
I saw them on Saturday.
It's a judgment call.
Tennessee did it every single time.
All the players are doing that now, and it's like a shotgun thing.
It's like throwing something there.
But if you do it in the air, you can do it. But he did it toward a USC player.
Right in his face.
But also, Also, at the end of the day, in this day and age, why even take a chance with some kind of gesture that's questionable?
Oh, that's
why
a
even
generation.
take a chance? Go do a backflip or something.
My man for Arkansas.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, just because it's at the end of the day, it is a judgment call for that referee for the most part.
Yeah. I watched so many games.
Risk it.
I don't remember, but I think it was Arkansas where the player did the thing where he dropped the ball going across the goal line and they had to review it. I'm like, why would you even make that close? I don't even know why that's still a thing.
Have you not seen enough of guys not scoring to learn?
When we come back, we'll get into Tennessee. We'll get into Vanderbilt. We will play some of Clark Lee's post-game victory speech when we return. We'll also talk more about this. I said I would do it, and I'll do it, but we'll talk more about it next break. Chances to make the college football playoff after week one, ESPN FPI from 12 to 1. 12, Missouri, 32.2%. 11, Oregon, look like crap, 32.8%. 10, Gabriel looked good. 10, Louisville, 34.7%. 9, Miami, 42.8% chance to make the playoff. 8, Ole Miss, 43.8%. 7, Tennessee, 50.2% chance to make the playoff. Ohio State at 6, 68.5. Penn State looked good against West Virginia after the delay. 69.6. Drew Aller threw 3 touchdown passes. Penn State, 5th at 69.6%. Notre Dame, 4th, 70%. Texas, 3, 76.8%. Alabama, 2. We will talk about the Crimson Tide. They've got a freshman wide receiver y'all need to check out. 78.2%. And Georgia, number 1, of course, that's 87%. We'll talk more about that when we come back. But we'll get into Tennessee. We'll get into Vanderbilt. At 4:20, Mike Keith joins us. We'll turn toward the Titans. It is opening NFL week as well. We got a lot going on. We're drinking from a fire hose here on 3HL 104.5 The Zone. It is the greatest time of year again. Kickoff is here. Football is officially back. You need to download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing now. I'm all in. I was playing over the weekend. It's so much fun. Makes watching games that much better, and you can combine sports into this thing. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by competing on Underdog. Went up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player's stats. Touchdowns, passing yards, total bases. If you want to go baseball, that's what I was doing with some of the Yankees players, and it was tons of fun. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward. Signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code 3HL, please. The promo code is 3HL. I'm saying please sign up that way. And Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy. Promo code 3HL to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates, like this one. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, Underdog Fantasy. Download the app. Start playing.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
You ever wonder why so many pro athletes go and use stem cell therapy? Because it works. I'm Ron Slade, retired 14-year pro basketball player, and I needed to get this done. After I went through my entire career riddled with injuries, I needed therapy, so I went to Kellum Stem Cell Institute out in Franklin. Why? Because they're the stem cell specialists. They can be yours too. They're the stem cell specialists of the Tennessee Titans. You know why? Because it works.
Make an appointment today with Kellum Stem Cell Institute.
Good afternoon. It is 4:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Labor Day and happy game week as week one of the NFL regular season gets going later this week on Thursday. Titans head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media earlier this afternoon and was asked what he was looking forward to most coming up in his Titans debut this Sunday.
I can't wait to see what our team is. I think we've had glimpses of what I think we're capable of over the course of training camp and the preseason. And again, we haven't faced a starting NFL defense yet, and that's okay, other than our own and a little bit of Seattle. But I do think that that's the part that I'm looking forward to, is to see what we are.
In other Titans news today, they signed safety Kendall Brooks to the practice squad. Brooks, standing at 6 feet tall, 206 pounds, entered the NFL as an undrafted college free agent with the Cardinals following the 2023 NFL Draft. Also, former Titans outside linebacker Rashad Weaver has signed with the AFC rival Houston Texans practice squad. Titans were considering bringing Weaver back to their own practice squad. Week one of college football wraps up tonight as number 10 Florida State hosts Boston College. That game kicks off at 6:30 on ESPN. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three, 104.5 The Zone. Busy day. Hope you're having a great Labor Day. Hope you're not working. Hope you are enjoying a nice beverage or two. Please drink responsibly. But as I always say, show's better when you do have a couple of drinks. Don Davenport is here.
What up?
What up, babe?
What up? Happy Monday. Happy game week for the Titans.
Mike Keith, voice of the Titans, will join us at 4:20. We'll start to talk about the Titans and Bears. What are you doing?
I forgot my headphones. So I got my old jacked up ones. You know how that goes.
Where are your headphones? Why are they not in that massive bag you have right there?
Because I did not travel them with me to Austin because I did not need them.
Yeah.
And so I forgot to put them back in my bag.
Did you meet Bevo?
Mark them
Oh my gosh, yes.
How did that go down?
I spent an entire morning with Bevo.
Did you ride him or what?
No. You don't ride Bevo.
I was going to say.
No, let me tell you. Do you want my Bevo story?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So.
We got 2 more hours, Babs.
You want it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it to me, baby.
So we do a segment this year called Detective Dawn, right?
Detective Dawn.
Yes.
Alliteration. I love it.
Yes,
It does sound
it's
cheesy, but that's okay.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So
Sound like a cartoon character.
So this
with Dora or somebody.
Yeah. So week one, Detective Dawn was Bevo. Like, where does Bevo live? What does he do?
Where
What's
does
a
Bevo
gig day?
live?
Well, I can't tell you because it's secret. Because Texas
Area 51?
A&M fans are dangerous when it comes to mascots.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So they keep it secret, but he does live on 300 acres, FYI. Gorgeous property.
Real quick about A&M. How funny was it on game day? Did you guys see it? There were multiple signs that said the real UT is in Knoxville.
I did not see that. That's awesome.
Good job, man, Neil.
Yeah.
There you
Hold
go.
it up.
They're
There you
helping you out.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we go super early because I don't know if you know, it's really hot in Austin. So his owner was there, and then the Silver Spurs, which handle him on game day and for, extra events, they were all there, whatever. So we go in. We go through all these windy paths to find him. So I don't know if you know this. Longhorns do not like to be alone. They like to have buddies, right? They are a let's have friends kind of
social butterfly.
Yeah,
There's one on Hillsborough Road that has a buddy. So there are 2.
Yes.
Hillsborough
So
Road.
Bevo's buddy is called Two Spot. Two Spot is also massive.
I would guess.
Yeah. And so we go in there. Two Spot is in there.
Does he have 2 spots?
Yes. I know, it's really creative, isn't
It would
it?
be funny if he had 1 spot and you called him 2 spot.
Yeah. So Two Spot immediately walks up to me and I'm like, okay, am I okay? These horns are massive.
Y'all help.
Yeah. So Two Spot walks up to me and kind of starts nudging, Two Spot likes to be petted and loved on, all the things. So I'm petting Two Spot on the head, on the belly, all
This is
that.
going well.
Two Spot loves me.
Yeah.
Bevo doesn't like his face touched.
Okay.
Bevo does not like for you to get near his face.
Okay. Well,
So I'm
then
like,
not.
got it. Yeah. Well, John, who is fabulous, the owner of Bevo, was like, hey, before you leave, I want you, Bevo's harnessed. He's like, I want you to hold him all by yourself with the Silver Spurs, the 2 guys that were there, like away from you. I just want you to do it yourself. You'll never have another chance to do this. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So I do it. He gives me this long tool to rub his belly because he's like, if you rub his belly, he'll stand right there. He won't move.
Like any man in America.
So I'm rubbing Bevo's belly. He gives me the reins. I am in charge of Bevo. Everybody backs away. Bevo looks at me out of the side of his eye like, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but I don't know you.
He gave you a side eye?
Yeah. Oh, he gave me, my side eye?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, times a million.
Do we know your side eye?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Zeph gives it more than we do.
So he kind of gives me a side eye. When he wants you to probably get away, he kind of moves his head. Well, those horns are 6 feet across from tip to tip. They're massive. Now, so of course I do it for like 2 minutes and then he kind of does his horns. I'm like, you can have him back. We're good. We're good.
Get him out of here.
2,200 pounds. Those horns are 6 feet.
Yeah.
He's not, he's calmer, but they said, well, we don't want a Bevo that's like completely calm.
No, dude, you got to be ready to brawl,
this is a
man.
mascot.
This football, Jack. You're in the SEC now.
So I'm telling you, Bevo is a boss. So Bevo likes to go on walks. They take him on a couple of walks prior to game day, where he's in with his misting system that makes it 35 degrees cooler than it is anywhere else.
Wow.
Yeah. So Bevo likes to go on walks. Well, he wanted to go on a walk while we were in there. So we went on a walk. I am amazed at how fast this monster of an animal can move.
Yeah.
They said if he takes off running, like you won't catch him.
Really?
You can't catch him.
They
He's
didn't let him get a little
2,200
trot
pounds,
going?
y'all. No,
Yeah.
they didn't let him. They had him harnessed and all that.
Yeah.
Right, but if you're the only one holding him and he takes off, I'm letting go, y'all.
Yeah.
So good luck.
So we did a little interview standing next to Bevo, and so I asked the Silver Spur. I can't remember. I think it was Will. I asked him. I said, "Okay, these horns are massive. I've learned that we have to watch out for him. Like you kind of have to duck sometimes if you're standing near him and all that.
Yeah, it's on you.
Yeah. So I'm like, so tell me about him. He's like, yep, they're 6 feet from one end to one end, and
That's
right as
crazy.
he said that, Bevo just rolls his head like, oh, you want to talk about my horns? Here. So I had to like grab his horn, just to make sure, which he let me touch his horns. But let me tell you, those animals are just fascinating.
Yeah.
Where are you going next week?
I've got Virginia at Wake Forest.
Oh, okay.
I think it's what?
The little Cavalier guy. You'd be fine.
You get to ride the motorcycle though.
No, yeah. That's Detective Dawn.
There we go.
Like, does the mascot have to know how to ride a motorcycle
Absolutely.
in order to get the job?
I guarantee
you would have to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what?
It's not hard though.
No, you could do it.
You go. I want you to take off on it.
I don't know about that.
You got it, baby.
Do you know my mama's rules?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No trampolines, no fireworks, no motorcycles.
Yeah.
Those were the 3 she had.
Slade blows through all those things.
Yeah, come on, Buff. Buff, this is for work. Come on, we got to keep a job.
That's
Robbie Bourne with the Titans just texted. Bevo got his name because of Texas A&M fans who branded him with 13-0, the score, which Texas then changed it from 13-0 to Bevo.
Oh,
that's how that happened. Is
look
what
at
Robbie
Robbie just knowing.
Bourne
Really?
says. Yep.
I will say, so this is the other thing I found interesting. The handlers know Bevo. They work so closely with it. It's like a quarterback with your wide receivers, right? You get to know the animal so well. So they know his temperament from his eyes. They can look at his eyes and know if he's pissy or not.
Yeah.
And his tail.
Listen.
Yeah.
We know that from you.
Yeah, you just look at my eyes, piss me off, and you can tell.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. So thanks to all the wonderful Silver Spurs and Ricky and everybody over there in Texas that let us hang out with Bevo.
I love
it's
that.
really fascinating.
I love that. I'm going to love getting these stories from you on Mondays here.
Yes.
On 3HL. Double-digit favorites over the weekend were 60-1. There was one double-digit favorite to lose Saturday. Virginia Tech closed as a 14.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt, but the Commodores get them. 34-27. How many of y'all, when they missed the game-winning field goal as time expired, thought, oh, there's Vandy right there?
Well, I did.
Here we go.
I did. I said, oh, man, they still can't get over the hump.
Yep.
I thought they were going to be able to get over the hump. Man, they got to be able to do it. And lo and behold,
Diego Pavia got it done. Transfer quarterback Diego Pavia, 12 of 16, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, 26 carries, 104 yards on the ground. Another score, including the game-winning 4-yard touchdown run. SEC Offensive Player of the Week. Vanderbilt hosts Alcorn State Saturday at 6:30 p.m. This is a little bit of Clark Lee and his post-game victory speech in the locker room.
And winning is hard. Winning's what? Hard. And what's our mission? Winning. And it takes everyone in here. And today, and I thought Coach Kill teed up perfectly last night when he talked about not losing your mind. Teams that win don't lose their mind. And in that third quarter, part of the fourth quarter, we lost our minds. We lost our minds. And now I want you to just pause for a moment and just let that sink in. Because we got to learn from that. And we got to carry the learning forward. And we got to train it every day. That's what it feels like. Now, here's what happened. God gave us a heart. And we played with that heart. And we never let go of the rope. And I've got a resilient team. I've got a tough team. And this team, and I've got a great strength staff. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn and we're going to clean it up. We're going to execute better on defense. We're going to get the ball back to our offense more. There's more opportunities for us. We're going to clean up our operation. I will be better as the defensive coordinator because that wasn't good enough in the second half. Offensively, we're not going to hit those lulls in the third quarter. All right? But at the end of the day, this win is to be celebrated for the next 24 hours. And there are so many people, guys, if you've been here with me, God, if you've been here with me, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir. For never giving up, for having my back, right, and for fighting today. Those of you that have been here for 3 years, going on 4, understand the pain of progress. Thank you. For those of you that are new, thank you for believing in me, for believing in this program, for building into it every day.
Clark Lee in the locker room. Man,
he needed that.
He did. Congrats to Clark Lee and their staff and all the players and administration over at Vanderbilt. It's hard to go out there and do what those guys do on a practice field every day. They do it just like everyone else in America. So, to not experience winning in a calendar year, is so hard. So congrats to all those guys. But
it's hard
congrats
to keep people on the train.
Yes, and congrats to Vandy fans, man, for sticking with their team and experiencing that overtime win. Just pure jubilation. By the way, Vanderbilt had lost 61 consecutive games when trailing by 7 or more in the fourth quarter. 61. Mm-hmm. So they get Alcorn State, then they get Georgia State. If they get to 3-0, they shoot past the 2.5 win total from Vegas. Awesome story. All right,
Clark train is rolling, baby.
Yep, we'll talk more about Vanderbilt later. We'll talk, obviously, extensively about Tennessee, hit some more college football. But when we come back, the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, begins his weekly visits on 3HL. The Titans are preparing game week. Chicago Bears coming up on Sunday. We'll break it down with Mike Keith next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right, some things are just better together, right? In fact, wouldn't it be pretty cool if you could get your favorite streaming apps and your internet together, just like dinner and a movie, or peanut butter and jelly, rock and roll? Yeah. Xfinity thinks so too, and that's what Xfinity Stream Saver was designed to deliver. When you add Xfinity Stream Saver to your internet, you get Apple TV plus Netflix and Peacock, all for one low price. And now through September 22nd, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for $30 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract and Wi-Fi equipment included. God, don't you love an and? Plus, add Stream Saver for just $15 a month. That's a whole lot of entertainment for your money, all on the network built for streaming. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra after promo or regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV, and price is subject to change.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. It is opening NFL week. Ravens at Chiefs on Thursday. Hollywood Brown is out for the Chiefs. Chiefs a 3-point favorite in that game. And then the full slate on Sunday, including Titans at Bears. Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, begins his weekly visits on 3HL right now as the Titans prepare for their opener in Chicago. Mike, welcome in.
You know, there's a Friday night game, too.
There is a Friday night game.
Yeah, they stole one.
NFL taking over.
Come on, NFL.
Eagles and Packers, right?
Yeah, in Brazil.
I said Mexico. Brazil.
Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
They were supposed to not wear green in that stadium, but the Packers like, I don't care. We're wearing our stuff. So
Why are they supposed to not wear green?
because of a soccer rivalry.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. Serious thing.
Well,
too.
this ain't soccer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's right.
No, they're fanatic about. We did this on Friday. They're fanatic about it, and like even people going to concerts in that stadium don't wear green because of the rivalry.
It's serious.
Packers are like,
And the Eagles wore black and white. Like they're going to wear black and white, but the Packers like, nah, we're going to be us.
oh, I
So
hope they don't curse
The
themselves.
entire stadium will be for the Eagles in that game.
Wow.
Be like when the Cubs kicked the goat out.
That
You just can't do
there you
some
go.
things, Mike.
Wow, you go more than 100 years back. They ended that thing, Mike.
Well, see, yeah, but it lasted 108 years.
Yeah, that's
Well,
pretty long.
we ain't trying to
See,
talk
I'm
about
bringing
old
that
stuff.
up to put the Chicago folks on notice, right?
There you go.
See what I did there? How I tied
do.
it back in?
I like it.
So,
Go ahead with your show.
so let's start here. You've got three coordinators that are calling plays for the first time. How is that going to be managed? Is there a concern there at all? Like, what do we expect to see in terms of like how this game is managed from that aspect?
You know, it's funny. The Bears have two. They have a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator as well.
Surprised they still have Eberflus, honestly.
Well, I think Eberflus, you know, the funny thing is he went from 3 to 7 wins. So they got better. Now he's clearly going to have to meet some expectations this year because they're really, really excited. And this is going to be going to Chicago like we've never been to Chicago before, because obviously we don't play the Bears much, but in our trips there in the past, they have been very, what's the right word? The crowds have been very uninspired because in our trips there, the Bears weren't that good. This is the theater opening. This is the concert opening. This is the museum opening. This is Michael Jordan playing his first game. In their eyes, they are starved because, you know, quite frankly, this is a franchise with a history of very limited good quarterback play, which is really strange because they've been really good. But, I mean, you go back to Bill Wade and Sid Luckman, and, I mean, there has not been a lot of all-star play at the quarterback position, and they think they got a guy now.
Oh, yeah.
So this whole thing's going to happen with all this new on both sides. They have a bunch of new, and we have a bunch of new, and you talked about it with the three new coordinators and obviously the new head coach and, you know, all the new players. I think Amy Wells is working on something for the show tonight, but I'm guessing half of the team from New Orleans in week 1 last year, close to half the team is different. So I don't really know what we're going to see in terms of the communication, being on the same page offensively, defensively, and special teams. I think it's definitely the reason that they played the preseason much more according to a regular season style, just trying to make sure some of that stuff happened. Because, I mean, it's different. This is the most different situation that we have ever been in as the Titans. When you consider that Rand Carthon is running the show for the first year, you know, we know last year he didn't run all of it. Vrabel had a big hand in it. And then new coach, new players, new coordinators. We've never seen this. There was always one end, Brent, that was stable. And in this situation, it is more new than we've ever had.
Mike Keith, voice of the Titans, with us on 3HL. The Brian Callahan Show coming up following us tonight at 6 o'clock.
All right, Vaught. Welcome back in the saddle, big guy. We missed you.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah. You know, you coming on the heels of a Vols win, getting ready to go into Titans and get a win up in Chicago. Weather's going to be lovely. It wasn't in Knoxville this past weekend. But let's just move to what we see on paper. When you look across the board defensively, I know things have changed. I know it's been additions, it's been subtractions, but you just take those first 11 out there, from corner to safety to nickel to in the box, inside, guys up front. Mike, I've scanned through defensive positions on other teams this past yesterday. And, man, we right up there, man, on paper. You got to be excited about it.
I agree. I think if we win the ball game this weekend, it will largely be due to a very veteran defense, which just hasn't played together. Mm-hmm. But we went out and, we spent a lot of money on defense. We used a lot of capital on defense, draft capital to get L'Jarius Sneed, and then we paid him as well. Ernest Jones is here, and why? I mean, he's going to play. I think Jack Gibbons going to play too. But I mean, you're looking. Kenneth Murray has had a super training camp. We need for Harold Landry to stay hot like he was at the end of last year. We need for Arden Key to start the year hot like he did at New Orleans a year ago when he had 2.5 sacks. Yeah. It's a better defense, and I think it's going to be a real challenge for Caleb Williams, as good as he is. And I think he's the real thing, and I think he's going to be the real thing. I just don't know if he's seen anything like this yet. And the Titans have to make sure that, listen, he can go beat Tom Brady after week 1. He can go 16-1. He can do whatever he wants. But for that first week, we need to have some sort of advantage over him. And I think in particular, the secondary has to make his life difficult.
Are we concerned at all that the secondary has not been completely together yet? Like, we never saw what we will see in a game in preseason games, obviously, and a lot of them did not practice throughout, obviously, camp. Thoughts on that? Concern, or are you okay with it just because we have some veterans back there?
I'm traditional enough, Dawn, that I wish they'd have had more time together, but they're here. We're not limping to the first game with them all banged up and trying to figure out, okay, one of them can't play, or two of them can't play, or three of them can't play. They're all going to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they won't be perfect. It would not be a surprise for them to have some issues, but this is going to be a group that challenges people. And I think going against these receivers, that's what you absolutely have to be. You've got to be challenging these receivers, because if you're just laying off of them, if you're letting Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Romadunze just do whatever they want and not be challenged, they're going to drive you crazy. So I like the fact that we're going to be getting after them. I really do.
Mike, before we shift to the offense, man, you've had an opportunity, and I'm glad we got to see it, with the interviews you and Amy have been doing, the personable side of these guys. Have you seen a defense? When was the last time you saw a defense with this much personality? And I mean, from all the way from being quiet where Sneed is to as boisterous as you can get with Big Jeff and Jamal Adams. Like, it's so many, and Arden Key, don't let me leave. It's a lot of them out there. But how personable have you seen a defense like this?
2008.
Oh.
Keith Bullock and the guys in the secondary
Finnegan.
who talked all the time. Oh, yeah. And
Griff.
Albert and KVB. And, that
was a great group.
We had some good defenses under Mike Vrabel when we went to the playoffs and everything. But in terms of personality, it's been a long time. And listen, this is not a young defense.
Right.
This is not a bunch of 22-year-old guys playing defense. We bought a defense.
Yeah.
And put it with some pretty good pieces that we got two top-line guys on our really three top-line guys on our defensive roster in Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, and Amani Hooker.
Yeah.
And then to come in and add these other guys who are in that weight class, so to speak, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting because I think, we had 6 interceptions last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had 14 total takeaways last year. And that happens when you just aren't making things happen. Mm-hmm. And we weren't good enough. Talent-wise, we were just not good enough on defense to make plays like that happen. This group of guys, if they stay healthy, are certainly going to be good enough. And then we've got some youngsters, Ron, that I'm excited to see Jalen Harold situationally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see Caleb Murphy situationally. Some players that can do some things and can make some things happen. How is Roger McCrary going to look in this defense?
Yes.
I think pretty doggone good, as he's asked to do what he does best. So I'm excited to see them. It's a much more. This is a better football team in terms of talent right now. If you spend $228 million, I think that's what Teron Davenport said we'd spent. You ought to be better.
Yeah.
And the quote has been in several occasions, no general manager has ever done what Rand Carthon did. And I'm excited by all his moves, but he had the dough to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never been in that situation before. So, we're going to be competitive right off the bat. We just need to build some continuity quickly and build some momentum quickly, particularly on defense.
So you mentioned some of the young guys defensively. I worked the Texas game this past week, and T'Vondre Sweat was there, so I got to say hi to him on the sideline, and gave him a little hug, and then was completely enveloped. Like you couldn't even see me when he hugged me because he is such a mountain of a man. But I'm curious, what is fair expectations wise for Titans fans to put on Sweat in this first week?
I think the expectation that is the most interesting from a statistical standpoint is how many plays he plays. Because T'Vondre, I'd love to think he could have double-digit sacks. That would be really exciting. And for a defensive lineman or an outside linebacker, that's always the gauge. But T'Vondre's presence is not. And his play is not really going to be about statistics. It's going to be about the chance to make some plays himself, but to open up plays for other people. And what impressed me most about him is the way he stayed on the field in the preseason. Mm-hmm. He didn't play 2 plays and then have his arm up in the air saying, I need to get to the oxygen tank. He stayed in there. And
even if at the end he was a little gassed, Mike.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. And I know he's going to have to come out.
Yeah.
You always want to rotate defensive linemen because they're big people. But if he can be giving you a goodly number of plays, and if he could still be showing up in the fourth quarter, I think that's what you're asking for right now. Mm-hmm. What you get statistically, I think, is just going to come in whatever situation comes up. But can he do for the defensive line what Big Jeff has done for different people? Right. And Jeff has created interceptions and sacks for other people. Mm-hmm. And now if somebody can do that for Jeff, and I think the other guy that we don't mention enough, but we need to bring up, is Sebastian Joseph Day. Yeah. Because he's another one that causes problems and plays a very disciplined style. So I'm excited to see what he brings as well.
Well, he's good in the run game too. Greg Cosell really likes him. Yeah. And speaking of Sweat, the Bears have one too. Montez Sweat. They've got Billings, Dexter, Senior, DeMarcus Walker up front. I think it's safe to say that the Titans' offensive line is better. They will have a big challenge, obviously, in this matchup. So J.C. Latham, Sco, Cushenberry, Radens, MPF, they've got to play well. This is a major key in this game.
To me, it's one of the biggest keys is controlling this ball game. And then the other one is Will Levis taking what the defense gives him, because week one losses are often really predicated by one or two big mistakes. And what we need to see out of Will is we need to see Will not make big mistakes, the run game get going, the offensive line control things. The best part of the Bears defense is in the secondary. Their secondary is outstanding. And so if they can't be a factor because Will is able to get the ball out on time and because he's able to take the throws that are there, and then maybe he opens up and makes a big throw somewhere, once the game turns in a different way. But the protection will, and him getting rid of it quickly will determine a lot of that. It's an aggressive defense. It's a very good defense. And, it's a defensive head coach, so you understand what the challenge is going to be.
How has the challenge changed for you as host of the Coaches Show from Vrabel to Brian Callahan?
It's different. Mike and I were together 6 years, and we had kind of built a rapport from the standpoint that I kind of knew what he wanted to do and what he wanted to talk about and what he didn't want to talk about. It was hard the last season and a half because we lost 18 of our last 24 games.
Yeah.
And so anytime you're doing that, it's more difficult on everybody because there's not as much obvious to discuss. Amy Wells and I are really, and I think adding her to the show, the Brian Callahan radio show, has added a lot. Really excited about what she brings, and he's fun to talk to. I think he still likes us. I hope he continues to still like us because we're enjoying being with him. He's a little more untraditional in terms of being a coach, in that he's not quite as guarded as some are.
Yes.
But, I think you understand, too, that we hadn't played a game yet. There hadn't been an injury report yet. There hasn't been somebody report something that they saw at practice that they weren't supposed to report. So, all of these things factor in. But I think what he has that's really great, like Mike, is he has a real vision for what sort of new media is and what it all looks like. Mike had started to let us do a lot more things in the building, and he and Rand, speaking of Brian and Rand, have continued that and even taken that up a notch, which is really fun, in large part because Brian has come in and chosen immediately to trust us. And that's Dawn working sidelines can tell you that often takes longer than just a few months. It probably took us till year 2 or 3 with Frabes. With some other coaches, we never quite got there.
Yeah.
With Fisher, it was great. He had a lot of trust for us, and so it's been fun. It's been different because you're in a first year. But it's been fun. I'm really enjoying doing what we're doing with Brian, and we'll start doing his TV show next week. And it's going to look, Mike's TV show had really gotten to be a lot of fun to do because he had given us a lot of things he was interested in doing. Brian's already given us those things. And so that's really fun.
Yeah.
Because you're able to take those pieces and parts and, try to build the show the coach is most comfortable doing. Because honestly, guys, I think that's what the fan base enjoys the most is when you've got a coach who really likes what they're doing on the show because they've had a lot of input into how it's formatted. And that's what we've tried to do with Mike Vrabel and now with Brian Callahan.
Well, we're looking forward to the Brian Callahan show. Follows us tonight, so 6 o'clock on Mondays. And
thank you.
The stuff that you guys are doing with the OTP and on Instagram and all those things are so good and funny and entertaining and
insightful.
Everybody just crushes all that stuff. So congrats on that. It's great content.
Well, thank you. You're nice to say that. I know a lot of people over here are working really hard on that, and I'm enjoying being a part of it. It's been kind of a trip for me. I just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's a lot more fun.
Love it, Mike. We'll be listening, man.
Appreciate you,
transparency everywhere.
Football season's here. There he is.
Thanks,
Let's play ball.
Let's do it.
All right, love you guys.
Oh, by the way, 68 degrees Sunday in Chicago, so have fun with that.
Oh,
Keenly aware. And win.
And win.
Well, there'll be win. There is Lake Michigan sitting right there, baby. All right, thank you, man.
See you guys.
All right, there he is, Mike Keith. When we come back, who picks the uniform combinations? You might be surprised to hear the answer. We've got that for you. Also, Harold Landry met with the media today. You'll hear from him next. 104.5 The Zone.
Twitch, please. And please, if you need new windows and doors, you need to call Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. As a customer of Pella, I would love to recommend them to you. They have been absolutely great to deal with, and I now am about to replace one of my doors in my house, even though I've already done windows and doors in my rental property, and then some windows in my home. I just added a new door that was rotting. So Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, I know them well, use them for a ton of stuff, and you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. There's a lot of different ways to get in touch with them. You can go to their showroom, which is awesome, and that is located in Franklin at 277 Mallory Station Road in Franklin. Easy to park, easy to walk in, and there's always somebody there that can help you and show you any kind of options that you would be interested in because they have them all there. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville offering you 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. So give them a call, schedule your free consultation. You can even do it online, super easy. Tell them Dawn sent you at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. The depth chart is out, and the only thing that might be a little different to you is that Jack Gibbons is still listed as a starter, Ernest Jones IV behind him. Outside of that, it's pretty much the same. Jaquan Jackson, punt return, we know. They also have him as kick return now.
I like it.
So a couple of differences there. With regard to the uniform combinations, I found this to be a little funny. Titans head coach Brian Callahan.
Was this may or may not be funny?
I mean, I guess it could, but I mean, it's just kind of matter of fact.
Okay.
But it was funny to me.
Okay.
Might be funny to y'all if you haven't seen the story. But so the uniform combinations, Jim Wyatt does the Bridges report every week, right? Let you know what they're going to be wearing. Titans head coach Brian Callahan said controlling owner Amy Adams Strunk picks the uniform combinations each week.
Really? Name another owner in the league that does it.
Well, maybe Jerry Jones. I don't know.
Maybe.
How about that? Amy Adams Strunk. I love it. But it's funny because, like, she'll put them in all white, which you don't like.
I don't like it.
You know what else she'll do that I love?
That's all right. I ain't going against Miss Amy.
Oh, no.
She'll put them in Titans blue against them in the Oilers colors against the Texans.
Hell yeah.
I like that too.
Well, you knew that's where that came from.
Good job, Miss Amy. We love you.
Bridges report.
Miss
Brought to
Amy.
you by Jim Wyatt, courtesy of Amy Adams Strunk.
That is outstanding. I would have never guessed that. I don't know why I wouldn't have guessed that, but I just never thought that.
Well, because you think she would be way too busy to even worry about it.
I tell that about Allison.
Not that it's a decision that takes, a million hours out of your day or anything. But
our fearless leader, Allison, one day she had like our corporate email thing, computer thing. It's called Workday or whatever. You see the commercials. We use Workday.
Anyway, a lot of people use it,
Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to do something. So she spent 20 minutes doing that for me like a couple years ago. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't in your job, one of your job responsibilities. So the other day I was working in the break room before I came up here. And she came in there and she took all the dishes that were in the sink and put them in the dishwasher and started the dishwasher. I'm like, dude, you're running 6 radio stations. I'm pretty sure we can find somebody to get that done.
I got it.
Just do it yourself. Sometimes it's easier, just do it yourself.
You think Jim Wyatt gets his Bridges report straight from the source?
Oh, straight from her.
Absolutely.
Like she just calls him and says, "Hey, Jim." She probably texts him, or somebody does.
Hey, here's what they're wearing this week.
Here's what I've decided.
Hard to beat Jim on that story. It's coming straight from Amy Adams Strunk.
That is glorious.
Don't ask someone to do something you're not willing to do yourself, right?
Yeah.
Leave it better than you found it. All those things. Harold Landry talking about Zeph culture change.
Yeah, he was asked what's changed in the culture from last year into this year on the defense.
So this is a really interesting answer, and I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't even know what he said, but I know that we've talked to enough players that have said the same thing. If I'm guessing what he's going to say, go ahead.
I feel like it's changed in the sense that I know a lot of guys have said this, but I think it's like real. Like I feel like when guys show up here now, guys feel confident that they can be themselves and that they can operate how they know they best operate to perform as good as they can on Sunday. Because everybody's different. I feel like guys are happy that they can come into the building and kind of trust the work that they've been putting in.
How much better are you at anything when you feel freedom to not get locked into fear of failure, fear of mistake?
I think it's important to point out too. Harold Landry was a Vrabel guy.
Yeah,
I mean he
went to social media when Vrabel got fired.
Yes, like I'm not saying anything against the old staff. It's just different. It doesn't necessarily mean it was an issue. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
No, because that style has worked.
I'm just pointing
success,
out that Harold Landry was one that was bought in to the last regime and was bothered with Vrabel going away.
Yeah.
So I think that's even more important. It lends more weight to what he just said.
Yeah.
Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, more Titans talk. Brian Callahan, you'll hear from him. We'll get into the Vols win against Chattanooga. More about Vanderbilt. We'll hit the local teams that won, MTSU and TSU. Slay Dog?
Yeah, we had a question from Jill in the chat and everybody else that may be wondering for the coaches show that may not be able to get it or in the area. You can listen to the coaches show anywhere on the Zone app. it does register. It's different for the games. For the Titans games, it's a little bit different once you're outside of the radius unless you have a desktop. So for the Coaches Show, tune into the Zone app, and you can't catch it if you're out of the area.
There you go. More Titans talk, more college football talk. When we continue, we've got another hour coming up. Stay tuned. If you want in, 615-737-1045 is the number. Happy Labor Day. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. This is 3HL.
Okay, you're looking for styles, you're looking for deals. I've got some for you, along with Brentwood Jewelry having the most for you. My style and my deal that I got is to tell you that go to Brentwood Jewelry. Go to BrentwoodJewelry.com. I'll do it in my type of style, so that's all I got for you. But they've been doing it every day for over 50 years, so why wouldn't you settle in and enjoy what they have for you? As far as engagement rings, custom pieces, watches, you name it, they've got it. You can go to the website as well, just a click away, BrentwoodJewelry.com. Or the location, 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. I went there, got the engagement ring done, knocked it out in probably about 15 minutes. Yeah, I know, Babsy. But I'm just saying, all I'm saying is Brandon and the family make it easy for you. They had an hour allocated to me. I didn't need to go in there. I said, Brandon, I don't know what I'm doing. He walked me through it, got it done, rings on, I'm married, party's over. That simple. Now, exceptional style, exceptional deals, you can have it for you over 50 years, just like them at BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Good evening. It is 5:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Happy Labor Day and happy game week as week one of the NFL regular season kicks off later this week on Thursday. Titans head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media earlier today and was asked what challenges the Titans will face against the Chicago Bears in their season opener.
They've got some real players on offense and ability to score a lot of points. They got good backs. They got good tight end. I mean, it's a much improved football team. And on defense, again, just what they did last year to close the season out was incredibly impressive. So I think they're going to be a really good football team this year. I think we got our work cut out for us. It's going to be a tough test on the road. And so we're going to need everybody and everything to muster up enough to go give these guys a game. So they're really good, and I'm excited to go play them.
The Tennessee Titans dropped their unofficial depth chart for Week 1 versus the Bears, which was released a few minutes ago. And the only changes were the addition of Ernest Jones IV in the backup inside linebacker spot. And rookie Jaquan Jackson was listed as the team's starting punt returner and kick returner. Week 1 of college football wraps up tonight as number 10 Florida State hosts Boston College. The game kicks off at 6:30 on ESPN. And then right after 3HL today at 6 o'clock, you can also catch the Brian Callahan Show right here on 104.5 The Zone. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSDN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful Labor Day in the Music City. It's about to get cooler, y'all. Did y'all see the forecast for this weekend? 78 degrees. 49 the low. Bring it. Pullover weather. Let's go. Still too warm for that, but
49?
49. Ugh. Hell yeah.
The leaves are starting to fall off the trees.
Kelly Ziegler degrees. Yes, they are. That is definitely true. We've had a couple storms lately and have popped those things off a little bit. Don Davenport is back from Texas.
What up?
What up, Babsy?
Happy Monday, party people. Game week for the Titans. We have college football to talk about. Life is good. What say you, Ron Slay?
I'm in the building. Time for the show.
Feel like I need you to say car ain't got no roof.
Car ain't got no roof.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
It was said quite a bit walking out of Neyland Stadium.
I was going to say you were in the building on Saturday.
Yeah, man. It was live and direct, man. I had a great time. Hey, man. And I did coming out of the little family restroom. Those lines are shorter. I don't know if anybody knows, but you got to be with a family member.
I was going to say, but you had friends' kids that were with you, so you
but I let them scurry on up, and I just used it. And if somebody would ask me, I would have said I was with those kids.
Okay.
I just had to use it. But shout out to the renovations that they did in Neyland. Those are phenomenal.
Home of the Vols is back up there.
Home of the Vols is back up there. Also came out and ran into basketball guys.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So it's, hey, you can feel the energy up there, y'all. That's all I'm saying. The energy is exuding.
Those guys weren't even born when you were playing at Tennessee.
No, but you want to know one thing? You damn well better believe they acknowledged Big Slay when he walked up out of that bathroom.
They better.
They knew you.
If they played or not played or born or not born.
When he walked up out of the
big dog
bathroom.
come up out of here, you know what I mean? Y'all let it be known. Big dog on the move.
Boston College at Florida State tonight.
I have paper towels going.
Florida State favored by 16.5, 6:30 on ESPNU. FSU coach Mike Norvell called the 24-21 loss of Georgia Tech in Ireland, quote, sickening. Seminoles struggled with dual-threat quarterback Haynes King last week. They get another dual-threat guy tonight, BC quarterback Thomas Castellanos. Last season, Castellanos became just the fifth ACC player to throw for more than 2,000 and run for more than 1,000. So similar type challenge. Bill O'Brien is the coach at BC, if you forget about that.
I did forget about that.
I did, too.
Because he was at Ohio State for half a second.
Wow.
And then got the BC job. Can DJU get going for Florida State? 19 to 27 last week, 193 yards, 6 carries, 7 yards. They had trouble running the football, Florida State did.
I wish we could poll their fan base and see how many of them think DJU can get to going. Because I feel like it's a big percentage that doesn't think that he can get to going.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Very inconsistent last week. NFL opening week starts Thursday with Baltimore at Kansas City. Chiefs a 3-point favorite. Chiefs wide receiver Hollywood Brown is out. Derrick Henry makes his Ravens debut. Titans are in Chicago, obviously Sunday to play the Bears. Chicago a 4.5-point favorite in that game. I saw that it came down to 4 in some places. So number coming down. Am I crazy to think that they're daring you, like they're begging you to bet the Titans?
They should know I'm not even looking at it. I'm looking at the money line.
Nervous?
Yeah, it can make you nervous. I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on.
What's going on?
Problems on the Midway. Problems, and I ain't talking about at the airport either. I'm talking about right there at that little stadium they got.
Soldier Field?
Right there at Soldier Field. Yeah, it's going down. Monsters of the Midway, they ain't coming through that door. This ain't them.
I guess it's probably too early to ask if what Titans fans are worried about with Caleb Williams, because I have been very vocal about. I think it's great the Titans get him right out of the gate.
Absolutely.
You know, his first NFL game. There's so many expectations put on him. Not that I don't think that his personality can handle that, but because I do. But you know, just all of that. After watching him in the preseason, am not quite as confident, so to speak, with welcome to the league moment for him.
I think with me, I get worried when he's off schedule. I want him on schedule.
Keep him in the pocket.
Yeah. Stay with what you're supposed to do. I don't want him creating.
Don't deviate.
Don't let him create.
Yeah, no Houdiniacs.
No deviation.
I need you straight and narrow, brother. Line it up. Let's go. Everybody know where you are, know where you're going to be, and we'll adjust accordingly.
The problem is easier said than done.
Yeah, now when you get to run around, that's why I don't like him.
Well, but I mean, if you're able to get pressure on him and that forces him out of the pocket, and then you got to deal with his athleticism.
What was it? It was somebody. You know what? We kind of used it against Anthony Richardson last year when they started talking about the cage rush.
Yep.
I think that's how they refer to it.
That's what Coach Matt calls it.
If we get to that right there, make that little pocket scrunch up on him, because he ain't looking over the pile, the lineman or anything. Ain't like he's 6'5", 6'4". Like, get to him, crunch that little pocket down where he can't get out.
Put him in the cage.
Lock the door, Babsy.
Lock the door in the cage.
That's what you got to do.
Put him in the cage.
And lock the door.
Then you lock the door on the cage.
Yeah, then it's on.
Then he can't get out.
You watch him squirm. You know what happened when you squirm?
Trouble.
Ball pop out. Then we got action going the other way. Can you imagine T'Vondre Sweat picking that ball up one hand and running on down to the end zone?
I would pay good money to see that.
Well, hell, get your money out. Because it might happen. I'm telling you.
Vanderbilt had that big man turnover.
They did.
Yeah.
Big man running down the field.
Big man was moving, boy.
I love it. Texans signed former Titans defensive end Rashad Weaver to their practice squad.
Good for him. Houston always know who to go pick up.
Seriously.
They get it every time. Every time.
All these,
you know they're going to get the most out of him. You know at some point he's going to end up on that roster, and everything Titans fans thought they would see from him here in Tennessee will all of a sudden come out.
Yeah, they play the Texans. Nico has like a sack and a half, and Rashad Weaver has a sack and a forced fumble.
Yeah, they need to do that against Indianapolis straight out the gate.
Indianapolis, there you go. Kentucky beats Southern Miss 31-0.
That's a fluke. No, you know what? I apologize. This is in my head. I was saying something in my head. Came out through the mic.
I didn't watch it because I went to Middle, and Middle had a rain delay too. 2.5 hours. Didn't they get back out there? I think
they went back out there, yes.
And then more lightning, so they were like, we're done.
Cut it off.
Which affected Vegas.
No, it didn't. It didn't affect Vegas.
They took it off the board, didn't they?
The game was called. The line was 32.5 for Southern Miss, getting 32.5 points. The game was called when it was 31-0. After the second rain delay, when they came back out, put them off the field, the game was awarded to Kentucky. They said because of the NCAA rules, both teams agreed. The game was over. They get the win. The stats count. Everything counts. FanDuel in Vegas shut it down and voided the game. That is dead wrong. because the game on the app says 32.5 to 31. Southern Miss won that game for me.
How did that affect your bet?
By $600, Babs.
So
that was what was that bet a part of for
it was
you,
a 7-leg parlay.
Oh,
the last game. I'm texting Tom Hart during the game.
What's Tom Hart gonna do?
I'm like, dog, what the hell are y'all doing, man? Get out of there, because I want them to end it. Like, I'm like, dude, I think at that time it was 24-0 or something.
But why do you void the game? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know. And the fans came back in. Yeah.
So if
they
I
would have ended that game, would have been like 2:30 in the morning. Man.
I only do parlays when I do a parlay. So I would have had like Kentucky minus the 31 or 32.5. So I would have lost.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been a good void.
Right. So it would have been a good void for me, but not in a parlay situation.
No, parlay.
Or a parlay.
Yeah, no.
I can't wait to ask Furman about that.
Dude, that's I want to know about that too, because they let the fans back in.
Yeah.
I did ask one of my reps that I was with, have you ever been in a game delay like that? And he said yes, against Arkansas. Tennessee was in an Arkansas delay. I think they had two delays. And he said they got back about 4 in the morning.
It's brutal.
And they ended up finishing the game because every time the lightning strikes, it resets the clock.
Yep, 30
so
minutes.
You were about to walk back out and another lightning strike.
Yep.
Going back in.
It happened at MTSU was playing Tennessee Tech, and they delayed it before the game even started. So you get there, you're standing in the concourse with a million people. They stop selling concessions because they said that the building was being evacuated. So they're evacuating the building, and they're telling everybody to go to the Glass House. And I'm like, I'm not going to anything named the Glass House during a storm. So I stood there with a bunch of people in the concourse. And then they ended up, like, there were some rogue concession people that would open up and stuff like that. So about 7 o'clock, kickoff was at 6. 7 o'clock, I text Joe Dubin, who's doing the game, with Chip. And I'm like, hey, man, you got any intel on this? He's like, man, it's looking like 9 o'clock, 8:45. I was like, okay. So I went home for a little while. I was like, because he said,
then came back.
He said there's another system that may affect the game too. Yeah. So I was like, okay, if they start playing, I'll come back. So I did. And I got there for the second half. And man, Tennessee Tech, props to Tennessee Tech. They came back from 21-2 down.
That's the problem with them delays.
To take the lead, and it was 25-24. MTSU got it back with a minute 6 left. And Vadiato, the quarterback, on 4th down and 5, hit your boy Amari Kelly. I told you, transfer from Auburn. He hit him on 4th and 5, and Amari Kelly went running down the middle of the field to the 30-yard line. So middle, it looked like was going to kick the game-winning field goal. Yeah. But no, for some reason, Tennessee Tech I think they went into cover 0, thinking MTSU was going to throw it. They pop a run, Peasant gets into the end zone, wins the game, 16 seconds left. So congrats to Derek Mason and everybody at MTSU for that hard-fought win, and Derek Mason's first win, as MTSU coach. So, by the way, MTSU 41.5-point underdog at Ole Miss. So that's coming up, yeah. All right, more college football talk and the NFL coming up. What's wrong with you?
I'm mad about that.
You're still mad. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah, I'm highly upset.
$600. I don't blame him.
I don't blame you either. I just shouldn't have brought it up.
I had 2 parlays in it. A 6x7 round robin and a 7-leg parlay.
You just don't think a game is just going to be taken off the board.
That's what I'm saying. Not when. Yeah, I am cool with that when it's voided, when the game is canceled. Nobody gets to win. That's fine. I understand that.
So your parlay should have become a 16 parlay and not a 17 parlay.
Kentucky was awarded a win.
Right.
No, it shouldn't have became a 16 parlay. It should have became a 17 parlay. They were awarded a win.
At 31-0.
Yes. And the stats are made. Marion Brown had a phenomenal game. Those stats register. It's part of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How you get to pick and choose when you want to take off and void just because it's going to save you money for everybody that had 32.5.
It's Vegas, man. They can do whatever they want.
Erroneous.
We'll ask Furman about that
Erroneous.
one. Not to bring up old stuff when he comes on Thursday, but
I wonder if he has something to do with that.
We're going to bring up old stuff.
He probably knows me.
Wednesday at 4:20. TSU wins the John Merritt Classic 41-21 over Mississippi Valley State. How funny is that? I mean, it's great.
Take some right now.
The funny part is, Slay, remember we were talking about this game? The line was 19.5.
Yeah.
TSU wins by 20.
TSU.
Tigers led 31-0 at halftime. It was over. Quarterback Draylon Ellis, 21-33, 356 yards and 3 touchdowns for Eddie George and his group. Dean with 9 catches, 144 yards and a touchdown. TSU has a challenge this weekend. They play at North Dakota State Saturday at 2:30. North Dakota State is for real. They gave Colorado all they wanted last week.
What time? When they play? What you say they play?
TSU plays at North Dakota State Saturday at 2:30.
What's the line on that?
I haven't seen it yet. It might be a lot to a little.
That's going to be tough.
That will be tough. Did you guys see Arizona wide receiver T. McMillan? First player in school history to grab 10 or more receptions, 300 or more receiving yards, and 4 or more touchdown receptions. Arizona beat New Mexico 61-39. He caught 10 balls for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns, this guy.
Sheesh.
It was crazy. Your boy Fafita at Arizona, the quarterback, 422 yards and 4 touchdowns. Dude can sling it. Ole Miss beat Furman 76-0. Jackson Dart, 22-27, 418 and 5 touchdowns. Trey Harris, been talking a lot about him in the offseason. Wide receiver, 8 receptions, 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Rebels' 76 points are tied for the most they've scored in a game in the AP poll era. Ole Miss becomes the first SEC team ever to score 70 or more points in consecutive season openers. The 529 passing yards, most in a game in school history for Ole Miss. Freshman wide receiver for Alabama, Ryan Williams. He won 2 Mr. Football awards in the state of Alabama and did not even play his senior year. He should be a senior in high school this year. My man went for two receptions, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I wonder how many times he held back.
Yeah, good question. I don't know how physically old he is. I don't know. Good question. Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe, 7-9, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 carries, 79 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Check this stat out. Milroe has 3 career games with 3 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns at Bama. No other player in Bama history has ever done it once. He's done it 3 times. Milroe.
Well, to that receiver that I just asked that question
Ryan Williams?
Yeah.
He's 17.
I salute to you, my brother. 17.
17 years old.
Sheesh.
Boy, and he scored
He can't even, what can you do at 18?
He can't smoke.
Smoked.
Yeah.
Vote.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I forgot. He can't vote.
Everybody go to smoke
Also,
first.
you can't smoke at 18 anymore. They changed that law.
Oh, you can?
It's 21.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
He can't,
Let me tell you this, though.
He can't drink.
Listen.
He can't vote. He
let y'all
can't
know how old
smoke.
we are.
He's been driving for a year.
He's only been driving for a year.
Yeah, he had to take his Uber to practice.
His car insurance is probably off the charts still.
Guaranteed.
When he scored that first touchdown, it was a long catch and run. He got in the end zone, y'all. It looked like he belonged there. He lives there.
That's tough, man.
Man.
Boise State won 56-45 at Georgia Southern. Running back Ashton Junti ran for a school record 267 on 20 carries. He also ran for 6 touchdowns.
That's tough.
Oregon struggled big. Number 3, Oregon struggled big. They beat Idaho 24-13. It was close in the fourth quarter, 1-score game. Dylan Gabriel, though, 41-49, 380 and 2 touchdowns. That's your college football update.
I got
All right.
questions around him, though, but go ahead.
Dylan Gabriel, lefty. You don't see very many lefties anymore. Tua. Who else? You don't care. 615-737-1045 if you want in. Reese and Laura on hold. Look out. We'll be right back. Talk some Tennessee football. Titans. That's next. 3HL.
What's happening, people? Man, did you have the opportunity to get on by Shoney's and test it out? Yes, the new bar. Not just the fresh food bar, but they got the bar popping, too, with TVs on and a full stock bar where you can go in there and enjoy the games with your partners, man. I just tried. I don't know if you knew this. I just tried the wings, man. Oh, my goodness. The bourbon, Come on, man. I'm just take my word for it. You know I'm a wing connoisseur. Go check it out. You can go to any of the locations, Clarksville, Dixon, or Lebanon. The one on Donaldson Pike is the one that I went to, though, man, and I frequently visit. Shout out to Gil, man, that's making it happen. Always fresh in food. You got the new menu there as well. It's been delicious for over 75 years, so why wouldn't you always dive into it? Bring your family. I grew up on it. Look at me. Don't you want to be like me? I still go there. But you got to understand, man, different themes throughout the week. Have a good time with it. It is the Shoney's that you remember. It's the new Shoney's that you will love when you go in there and top it off with the world famous hot fudge cake. Oh, with that hot fudge just dripping off the side, ice cream in the middle. You know what it is, man. It's Shoney's delicious food that's been trending for 75 years.
September 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045. It is September 2nd.
Oh, can
you believe it? Should you get the Halloween stuff out now?
No, dog. We got Thanksgiving first.
No,
we
don't.
got Halloween first. I'm hungry. I think that's what it is. I'm hungry. Y'all.
You got some beaver nuggets there.
Yeah,
Did you
that's
hit Buc-ee's?
too sweet. Yeah, I bought everything from Buc-ee's.
That place is dangerous.
Laurent, we came back early, well, late at night, and he was already asleep. I was like, dog, you want to go in the store to get you something? And I just started going and grabbing everything.
Oh, geez.
And I could see it on his face like, man, come on, Dad, come on.
I had never had those beaver nuggets until you just opened that bag.
Oh, they're pretty good.
They're good. They're just sweet.
Yeah, super sweet.
You can only eat so many of them.
Yep. You got to, I did get the cinnamon rolls, though. That was a good choice by me.
That is not program approved.
It's most definitely not.
Y'all still in that program?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in maintenance.
Yeah,
You're always in maintenance.
Y'all always in the program,
You've been talking about maintenance forever.
Hey, that's what we are.
Oh, man. 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045. Vanderbilt with the 34-27 win in overtime. Diego Pavia with the 4-yard touchdown run to get it done. He went for 104. That was nice of him to represent the radio station like that.
Yeah, good job.
By the way, we were just told Clark Lee will join 3HL at some point this week.
All right. Okay, see Lee.
Man, so happy for that guy.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man.
Vandy Chris, who is active in the chat often, joins us now. Vandy Chris, what's up, man? How are you?
Man, you just don't know what it felt like on Saturday, and I think I've mentioned it a couple times in the chat that this team is just different from anything I've ever seen. Let me tell you, at the end of the first half, when they got called for the personal foul where they kind of threw Keon Drones around a little bit, any other Vanderbilt team I've ever seen has let that team go down and tack one on at the end of the half. Mm-hmm. They finished that half out with 3 straight negative defensive plays.
Yeah.
Shut them down, didn't let them score. And then at the end of regulation, we go down, we tie the score, they get the ball back. Any other Vanderbilt team I've ever seen has let that team go down and score and take a win away.
Mm-hmm.
3 and out, forced to punt. We go back down the field, miss the field goal. We go into overtime. And then what amazed me is that the heat had gotten to Virginia Tech so bad. Keon Drones only played one of their 5 plays in overtime. I mean, the heat just ate them. I was shocked at
I was wondering
how
about
unconditioned they were.
Watching television, that it wasn't explained. I didn't know why he wasn't out there.
Yeah, their last play, he went down with, it looked like a cramp because they were working on his leg on the field.
Okay. Well, and to be fair, I was watching multiple games, but yes. So I'm glad you said that. I was wondering about that. But, yeah, I know Vanderbilt fans, when the field goal was missed as time expired, I guarantee everybody, including you, Vandy Chris, was like, here we go.
But
man,
that's exactly my thought.
Listen, Dawn's been talking about Pavia because she's done his games before, and that he's got a competitive edge to him.
Mm-hmm. He's a dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you could see he was getting up in guys' faces on the field, and he wasn't taking nothing from them. So I got to give it to him. Hey, 53 brand new players. Credit Clark Lee for turning that. He admitted last year he saw it as far back as the Kentucky game last year. Changes had to be made. When I went to Fan Day last week, I can tell you, 34 years I've been doing this with Vanderbilt, and this team is bigger and stronger than any Vanderbilt team I've ever seen, including the Franklin era.
Well, Vandy Chris, hey, congrats, man, on getting that win. I know that felt good, brother.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yep.
You heard that from Clark Lee, though. He acknowledged it. He acknowledged his strength and conditioning. Said I got the best strength and conditioning coach out there, team out there. So, yeah, that I guess that resonated on the field.
So Vandy Chris is always in our chat as well.
Yep.
I don't know why, but that is not the voice I expected
I didn't
from
either.
Vandy Chris.
I didn't either.
I was really wondering what that was going to sound like. And
I was really surprised.
I don't know what I was expecting.
I don't know what I was expecting either, but it was like deep and rugged.
That's how people do when they come up to us.
Yeah.
At remotes. Like, I wasn't expecting you to look like this.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you expect me to look like then?
Yeah, I know. I always say face for radio, but that's just me. 615-737-1045. So we go from Vandy Chris to Reese and Laura, who are celebrating that 66-point win. Reese, Laura, how are y'all?
How about them Vols?
Let's go, baby.
Hey, Laura. I heard you had 16 jacked up tees or something for this game.
Twisted tees.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, those are so good. Yes, and I was dancing around the living room, screaming and yelling. I'm sure our neighbors thought I was a fool.
Laura, those twisted teas are
They'll get you.
They'll get you because it tastes like sweet tea.
Yeah, they got me all right. I passed out as soon as the game was over.
So how much money? Before Slade gets you, how much money did you win, Reese?
I won $100, and Laura, tell Mayor what you did. Mayor, she thought of you. Go ahead.
I made a mayor bet all on my own. I bet $20, and I profited $18.
There you go.
That a girl.
Good job, Laura.
She was very proud of herself. And Mayor, as she did, she's unleft the car. She's gone. As she did it, she said, "Baby." The car's beeping. I don't know what that means. Watch the cat. She said, "I'm making a mayor bet." And I said, I don't know what that means. And she said, "I'm making a mayor bet." And I said, what is a mayor bet? She goes, "A safety bet." And I said, "Okay, do whatever you want. I got to go guard these cats and get a beer." So anyhow, we both won. I won 100. She won 20. Big Slay now. Are you with me?
You better believe it, baby.
Okay, so I got some good news and some bad news. Are you ready?
Bad news first.
Bad news first is, you're recently married. I messed up, and we had Mike Keefe on today, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You were there, and as the interview was going on, I couldn't help myself. You know what I said?
What?
I looked at her, and I was so excited because it's Titans time, and I'm ready to go. And I said, "Babe, there is no voice in this world that makes me happier than Mike Keefe." Well,
she'd take that personally.
Apparently, that was the wrong thing to say.
Got to be aware of your surroundings and who's around you at all times.
I was not aware, and I was just being truthful. When I hear Mike Keefe or Coach Mack's voice, the whole world and all his problems don't exist. It's just pure jubilee. You know what I mean? It's just wonderful. And I was so happy. And I was just being honest. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. I was just like, there's Mike Keefe. I'm happy. Things are great. But anyhow, so let's get to something real quick, Big Slayer. Are you with me, sir?
Bring me the good news. Talk to me.
Well, the good news.
Come on.
The good news is all 6 of them stray kittens. Remember how I missed the show on Thursday?
Yep.
Sorry about that. Remember how I missed it?
Yep.
Yeah, all 6 of them got adopted.
Boom.
So,
hey.
Good job.
Exactly.
That is good news.
All 6 of them were going to die. I got them. I've got scars on my leg and looks like rug burns and all that nonsense. And all 6 of them were so dehydrated. The Humane Society said they would have died if they wouldn't have got up there. And I spent hours in that crawl space, and they got a home, and they all got their juices pumped up, and they're all good. So
love it.
Sorry I missed the show, but they're good. They're good to go. So that's good. That's the good news. So now we won the money on Tennessee. Now here's what I did on Tennessee, North Carolina State, Big Slate.
Mm-hmm.
It's 7.5, and as you know, I don't only just hate the big spreads. I hate hooks.
Yep.
Even though I think Tennessee's going to win by 14-20. I really do.
Did you hear Chris Lowe earlier, Reese?
I did, and I like exactly what he had to say.
Tennessee by 2 touchdowns or more.
2 touchdowns or more is what he said, and I was like, yes, that makes me feel better. But I wanted to put 300 on it because now we have 600 in the betting account because we got 1,000 on. We got 1,000 on hold with the over 8.5. And so I wanted to put 300 on it, but I was like, well, I really want this line to go down. So I put 100 on it on -7.5, and I'm holding 200 and seeing if it goes down. And then I was like, well, Titans are plus 4.5. This is ridiculous. They're probably going to win that game if they don't lose by 1-3, let alone 4. So I put 300 on the Titans at plus 4.5, and I put 100 on the Vols at minus 7.5, and I'm waiting until like Thursday, Friday, and just seeing if the line moves down to minus 7. It won't go to minus 6.5, and minus 7, and put the other on there. If it doesn't, I'm going to put the other 200 on there. Big Slay, what did you do with the Vols, North Carolina State, 7 and a hook?
Oh, I would run with North Carolina State. I'm running. I'm pushing it up to 13.5, and that's why I'm buying it at.
Wow.
Dang, Slay.
Y'all going to be mad at me. I bought it yesterday at 6.5 before
that's
it went
too
up.
low for me.
See, I didn't get in time on that. But they struggled against Western Carolina, and so
they were trailing in the third quarter.
Yeah, but don't take that for who they are either, though.
Nope, that's true.
It's still week 1, week 0, whatever. But Zeph, I know you're back there hitting the button, rushing me, and we was just talking to you about how we support you and how Big Slay is rushing you and doesn't believe at the Cracker Barrel, and now you're rushing me. I don't like the rush, but hey,
our
Big
boss
Slay,
is going to rush us.
Yep.
Big Slay, good old Rocky Top, sing it, babe. Woo, Rocky Top 10 up. Say we love y'all. We're on the way to 9+, Big Slay. We're going to be millionaires. Let's go, boys.
There he goes. There's Reese and Laura. DHB on YouTube. I want to be like Reese and Laura when I grow up. Grab a beer.
Is the best way.
Grab a beer and watch the Cats.
The exit is the best part every single
day. Baby. Reese, bringing it. All right, when we come back, we got more football stuff. Next, 3-10-1045 this up.
Want to tell you about the best outdoor lighting company here in Middle Tennessee, Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. That's what I'm talking about. Been a family business since 1986, over 38 years. Bob Lyons and his team has been making homes in this area beautiful, enhancing your home and landscape with outdoor lighting. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville did my backyard, my driveway, put up some landscape lighting, some lighting around the deck, lighting on the stairs. I can see the dogs at night, make sure they're not chasing bunnies. It is amazing, and it really has completely transformed our backyard. It looks beautiful. They can do the same for you. They do the design, the installation, the maintenance. Light up your night with Outdoor Lighting Perspectives, festival lights, path lights, wall washing, tree lighting, area lighting, and they will even do maintenance on lighting systems they did not install. Let them take care of you. Full service holiday and event lighting they also do, and they do commercial lighting. They do it all, and they do it all well. Bob Lyons and his team at Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville will give you a free nighttime design demonstration. Just reach out to them online, outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
3HL 104.5, the Summer Print Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. The Brian Callahan Show coming up at 6 o'clock. Appreciate y'all being with us. Back at it tomorrow. Jim Wyatt, and we'll turn toward a whole lot of Titans talk. NFL season opens Thursday.
It's time, baby.
Tennessee eliminates Chattanooga 69-3 at Neyland Stadium. Here's some historical facts from that game. You ready?
Yep.
Quarterback Nico Iamaleava threw for a school record 314 yards and a half. School record and a half, 314.
What do you mean school record and a half?
In terms of in a half yards passing.
Oh, in a half.
The whole school record and cut it in half.
In an extra half of the school record. That's what my brain was not following.
And so for the people going, well, it was against Chattanooga. Okay, well, Peyton Manning played bad teams.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Tyler Bray had the record at 313 against
Was that
Troy.
against a bad team?
It was against Troy. Okay. Tennessee had 718 yards of total offense, which tied for second most in school history in a game. 3 of the top 4 Tennessee total yardage games have come under Josh Heupel.
That offense, man.
How about that?
Yeah, that's big.
The game was a sellout. That's 14 in a row. You were there.
Yep.
It was hot.
Scorching.
Did you have your towel?
Nah, that wouldn't work.
Towel wouldn't even work.
Nah, would have made it more hot.
Tennessee has won 11 straight games against non-conference opponents. They play another one on Saturday against NC State. 7.5-point favorite there. Heupel is 14-2 against non-conference opponents at Tennessee. The 69 points that Tennessee scored, second most in a game since 1937. 66-point victory, third largest victory margin since 1937. It was the largest margin of victory for Tennessee in an opener since 1915.
Wow.
They beat Carson Newman 101-0. Carson Newman wasn't nothing back then.
101-0.
101-0. Tennessee improved to 6-1 in the Nike Smoky Grays.
Do you remember for a long time the Smoky Grays were bad luck under Butch Jones' era?
The funniest ones were the black ones that Lane Kiffin did that looked like they got at the Walmart.
Yeah.
You're talking about earlier.
Probably did.
Yeah, but that's a fun like October Halloween.
Oh, I like the
they look much better now.
Yeah.
Like that. Go back and Google that.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I don't.
And they
remember
won.
that.
They beat
terrible.
They beat South Carolina.
Yeah, it was terrible. They literally got them from the store.
Seriously. I don't know how they got that approved.
They probably didn't long lane.
He's just out there.
You have to order it through your distributor, right? And he's like, nah, dude, we're going to Walmart.
They wasn't going to be there on time. I think that's what he said.
Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm. So they went out to a store and got them.
Tennessee scored on each of its first 7 drives in that game. Nico, 22 of 28, 314 through the air, 3 touchdowns. Dylan Sampson, 12 carries, 124 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, that man was salivating, man. He ready to eat.
You were going off about him on Friday. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Bishop, 5 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown.
Good.
Cam Seldon looked good, too.
Good to see him back.
Yep. Rushing for Tennessee, 46 carries, 304 yards, 5 touchdowns. Passing, 33 of 44, 414, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dante Thornton, who is now on the outside and is talking loudly about how much more comfortable he feels on the outside.
Every time.
He did that on Friday, and I just kept going. I was like, I'm not going to let that affect me, but it sends Dawn into the ceiling.
It like jump starts my heart.
Yeah, if you ever need a defibrillator and don't have one, Slay can just sneeze.
Let him sneeze.
And I got you.
Brew McCoy, 6 receptions, 89 yards.
He's back.
Man, he looked good. Chris Brazzell, 5 for 59. 14 different receivers caught balls. By the way, congratulations. Elmer Fudd. Congratulations to Langston Patterson, who led the team in tackles last year without starting a game. He started. He's a captain. 10 tackles, tackle for a loss. We talked about that being a point of interest in terms of like stopping the running quarterback. Drones and Langston Patterson and C.J. Taylor showed up big. Drones had 16 carries, 19 yards. Brian Callahan Show coming up. Appreciate y'all including us in your day. We do not take that for granted or lightly. Hope you had the day off, honestly, but if you didn't, maybe we can get you one at some point.
We'll be back in there with you tomorrow.
Slay will write you a note to your boss.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Tell him I said it.
Going to turn a lot
you
of
got
our
a problem, go to Slay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, don't call Saul. Call Slay.
That's right.
We will turn a lot of our attention toward the Tennessee Titans tomorrow as we roll through the week and talk about the NFL games coming up this weekend. The Titans, of course, Tennessee, North Carolina State, all the local teams, and all the college football. Brian Callahan's show is next. We love y'all. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be unless you're Traylon Burks, Tajay Spears, or anybody that didn't play football.